Hi, welcome to OpenRose, a free and open source requirements management tool. Download it from github.com/openrose. In today's video, we are going to talk about working with AI, especially when we are doing requirements management. When we communicate with any AI platform or AI service provider, we need to make sure that we set the context correctly. And this is where the latest feature introduced in OpenRose can help us. So today we are going to use ChatGPT. Let's just open chatgpt.com and then we will interact with ChatGPT. But before I start interacting with ChatGPT, the first thing I need to do is to really set some context. And this is called context engineering or context provisioning. And it can also be classified in some form as prompt engineering, to be very fair. So these are the terms that people use in the industry when they communicate or when they work with AI platforms. So let me explain what is context engineering. Instead of overwhelming the AI with everything, the context engineering ensures it gets just what it needs, no more, no less. Which means you have to provide enough information to the AI engine so that it can really give you more concrete answers. Why is it important? So context engineering is becoming essential as AI systems evolve from simple prompt-based tools into complex autonomous agents. It helps AI deliver faster, cheaper, and more accurate results by reducing irrelevant data and focusing on what's actionable. It also enables AI agents to handle multi-step tasks without constant human intervention so that we don't have to constantly keep asking and providing information. If we have provided the contextual information beforehand, then the AI agent will really give us more better outcome and answers and responses. And also remember that AI's poor performance is often due to bad context setting and not bad models. So that's why if you provide garbage in, then you get garbage out. Think of it like setting up a workspace for a human expert. If you give them the right tools, clear instructions, and relevant background, they will thrive. Context engineering does exactly that when anyone uses AI. So today, what we will do is before we really start talking with ChatGPT about our project, let me go into OpenRose and first identify the project, which is charity fundraising in this example. And it has this pre-fundraising, fundraising event execution, and post-fundraising activities requirements. We also know that we can now export our data. So I would like to export the entire project and send it to ChatGPT so that it knows about my current requirements, its structure, and any traceability that is captured within the project. Let me go back to my project and I can actually show you here that I have some traceability. So when I do plan video content in the traceability, I have publish and promote, which is another requirement sitting just below in this location. And there is publish and promote is having traceability back to two requirements. One is obviously the plan video content, which is the parent, and the other one is engage participants and volunteers. So there are some structure as we can see, and we also have some traceability. So what we will just do is go all the way up to the project, pick up the project ID because we want to export the entire project, go to export, identify it as a project by providing the ID. It is our charity fundraising project, and let's just export the whole project. Project is successfully exported. We can now go into the exported output, and when I open the file, Let me bring it over to this screen. And this is the JSON output that we see. So the exact structure that we have in our project is maintained in terms of the hierarchy of the requirements, and any traceability within the scope of this requirements is also exported in the output. To learn more about export capabilities of OpenRose, please go and have a look at the previous video in which we talk about different export options available. You don't need to export entire project every time. If you want to talk to ChatGPT or any AI platform about a particular section or particular part of your project, then you can also scope exporting data accordingly. Now in this example, we have the project as charity fundraising, and we have the item type starting with pre-fundraising preparation, and the actual items, which is nothing but requirement, starts with the first one, which is defined fundraising goals. And each one of this contains mainly the description, priority, status, created by, created date, and severity. These are some attributes that we have for our requirements. Now, don't worry if you don't understand the JSON format here. This is something computers understands very well, or systems use JSON as a communication standards to be able to send and receive data between two systems or between two applications. And that's exactly what we will be using in this particular example. Because we have just exported the whole lot, and because we have here at the bottom information about the traceability, which provides the from trace and to trace details, i.e. the parent trace and the child trace information, we will be able to then ask certain questions about our set of requirements that we have in this project. Okay, so export is successful. We will keep it handy here. And oh, let me just go back and open the screen, and let's go to ChatGPT. Let's start talking to ChatGPT. So first thing what I'll do is I will send some information about why I'm talking to ChatGPT today. So this is something I have already typed in my notepad for this demo that I wanted to show you. And let me read it out very quickly. Hey, I'm a business analyst at a non-profit charity organization, and I'm currently working on charity fundraising event project. We regularly arrange for events at several locations, mainly to raise funds and spread information about our charity organization. I have started capturing requirements for upcoming event in OpenRose requirements management tool. Latest version of OpenRose allows me to export requirements in JSON format for the entire project, and that is exactly what I have done. Let me send you my project's exported JSON data in the next message, and then we can talk. So this is just telling ChatGPT, who am I, which project am I working on, what is my role, which tool am I using, and what is it that I'm going to send you next before we really start talking. That information goes out. ChatGPT gives me a quick response there, which is fair enough. And now I'm just going to go pick up the entire exported data and then send it to ChatGPT. If I have a proper account or access to more advanced ChatGPT features, then I can log in and then actually upload the file itself rather than sending it in this textual format that I am pasting from Notepad into ChatGPT window. But today I am not logged in, so I'll just send the entire project export data, and it starts, analyzing my requirements data already. It says, thanks for sharing the full JSON export from your OpenRose project. We have done a thorough job capturing structured, well-written requirements for your charity fundraising event project. The data shows a thoughtful breakdown across pre-fundraising, event execution, and post-fundraising activities with a fourth parking lot section left for deferred or future items, which is exactly what I intended to tell ChatGPT. This is what I see here in my project, isn't it? If I go back here in the tree view, I have exactly the same information. That parking lot is not having any deferred or future item, but if I do want to capture them, I can leave them in my parking lot. But I have these three different types, which are my custom type. I decide what type of requirements data do I want to capture for my project. And when I export it and send it over, now ChatGPT knows pretty much everything about my project so quickly. I didn't have to explain so much more about my project structure, my existing requirement. It really picked up so much information already. It also knows how am I having the links, which requirement is linked to which requirement, who is the parent, who is the child. You know, when we passed the JSON output, right? Let me just go back to my JSON output. You can see here in the traceability section, we only passed the IDs. We really did not pass the actual name of my requirement. But it was very simple for ChatGPT because it is all JSON, it is all easy for systems to understand about the structure. It could just simply go and find that record. So let me just go and find that record for you here. So I'm just going to look for that record, and it is monitor event progress, which is the first record. And you can see that's exactly what it's saying. Monitor or monitoring event progress is parent to evaluate success metrics, which is exactly nice, isn't it? It also says recommendations and suggestions, completeness check, risk management plan is missing in pre-fundraising, accessibility, compliance. So it has started giving me a little bit more information about what it thinks can be improved. There are places where it can immediately start helping me out. So as a business analyst, I have an option to go and communicate with ChatGPT furthermore if I'm interested in risk management plan for pre-fundraising. But let's leave it for now. Let's not jump too fast and just leave it there for now. It can actually help me with many things. It can help me produce traceability matrix or roadmap view or summary report. It can do quite a lot for me already because it knows the structure. So I have prepared some more questions. Now the context is set. So context provisioning, context engineering sort of environment is already being set up in just few simple communication where I have sent the detail about my requirements over to AI platform. And let me ask the second question now. Let me just copy that here. Given that you know about my project data, can you please identify any missing traceability and I should have in my project? I want you to explain why you are proposing creating traceability link so that I can analyze if it's really necessary for my project. Please provide me with the name and the ID of the source and target requirements, which will help me find them easily in my OpenRose repository. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with in terms of which existing requirements can perhaps be linked. So recommended traceability link with justification. The first one is plan the fundraising campaign. So we are doing a planning for a fundraising campaign and then execute the fundraising campaign. Oh, wow. This does not have an existing link? Perhaps no. Okay, so why it thinks we should create this link? So planning and execution are sequentially dependent. A trace link here ensures that all planning, logistics, and objectives, that is type of event, responsibilities, timeline, directly map to actual execution, allowing you to validate implementation against the plan. This is interesting. I think I would go for it. So I can go ahead and pick up this ID based plan the fundraising campaign and then link to this ID. Let's do that. Let's quickly do that. So I'll just copy this text from here. Plan the fundraising campaign. Let's just go and we have plan the fundraising campaign. ID starts with 0381 FBBC. That's exactly what we have. So we are talking about exactly this requirement. And then in traceability, I don't have any child trace. So let's just go ahead and create that child trace. And that is nothing but this in my structure. If I open it up, it's here. So now the plan fundraising is linked to execute fundraising event, and it is linked back to plan the fundraising campaign as its parent. Super. I'm happy that ChatGPT could help me identify a gap in my traceability, and there are a few more that it has provided suggestion for. Now it's up to me as a business analyst to decide whether really these traceability links are required or not required. I can really work with quite a lot of information here because I'm using the power of AI to analyze my requirements data, and I have my own skills to understand whether what ChatGPT is providing me as suggestions are they relevant for my project or not. Do we have fund for it? Do we have time for it? Do we have any requirement to be able to take all the suggestions right away, or shall we park them in the parking lot? It opens up quite a lot of doors here, isn't it? I think so. So let me ask one more question to ChatGPT, which is, now that you know all my existing requirements, are there any missing requirements that you can identify and provide me with 2 to 3 paragraph description for your proposed requirements? Please provide reasoning for the same so that I can decide if it's relevant for us or not. I think that's a great question. Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Yes, I have reviewed your current requirement set and overall disability structure. While your project already captures a well-rounded fundraising lifecycle from planning to post-event reporting, there are a couple of key operational and stakeholder-focused aspects that are missing. So let's see what they have given us. So the proposed requirement number 1, volunteer coordination and management. The requirement is blah 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 blah, why this is important. And if this is something important for me, I can go ahead, pick up this and push it into OpenRose repository. The second one is risk assessment and mitigation plan. Here is the description for it and why should we do this. These 2 requirements are now proposed on top of my existing set. I am so excited that if I have got my contacts being set up correctly, then I really can take advantage of platforms like ChatGPT or perhaps any other AI platform. Wow. With that, I'm very, very pleased to share this information with the online community here, and I hope that you will use it. I hope it can help you in your projects, whether it's personal project, team project, charity, organization project, your company where you're working. I hope that this is going to be very, very useful for you. And remember that you can also export a specific part or specific section of your requirement structure rather than exporting the entire project. So if you have a very large complex project and if you're working on a specific component, you can actually export data for that and use ChatGPT. Just set the context so quickly and take advantage of AI platform. Thanks a lot for your time today. Let's conclude this video here and we'll talk in the future with more such videos. Have a great day. Bye bye.